With Season 9, the bow received a massive buff which seems to have gone under the radar. Poison Shot had its cooldown reduced from 30 seconds to 20 seconds. This is a massive buff, and now aligns the cooldown of Rain of Arrows and Poison Shot. With this in mind, we have designed a build focused on dealing massive AoE damage over time. By focusing on increasing our Empower and increasing the duration of our dots, this build inflicts a crazy amount of damage. To start things off, we have our bow. We are using the Hoplite bow with the perks Disdained Infliction, Keenly Jagged, and Lasting Rain of Arrows. Disdained Infliction is an obvious choice for this build, increasing the potency of our dots, and Keenly Jagged provides us with even more dots. Lasting Rain of Arrows is actually crazy good on the weapon, providing a massive 46% increase in duration to the slow and bleed of Rain of Arrows. It also provides a 9% damage buff to Rain of Arrows when a target is more than 20 meters away, which they often will be. For the gem, we are using an Opal Runeglass gem with nature damage. As we will be dodging a lot anyway to trigger the ultimate on our bow skill tree, which we will look at later, Opal makes sense to get double value out of this. The dots from the Runeglass will also get extended with our various perks to increase dot damage. For our second weapon, we are using the Hatchet artifact, Sin. Sin comes with the unique perk, Corruption, causing our debuffs to last 20% longer and works on both weapons. This is one of our key ways to increase the duration of our dot damage on the bow. Its second unique perk, Defile, increases our damage by 2% per debuff on the target. It comes with Keenly Jagged and Refreshing Move. For the final perk, we've added a gem slot, and as with the bow, we've added an Opal Runeglass gem with nature damage. Onto the armor. For our gloves, we are using the artifact Lich Gloves. These come with the unique perk, Curse, causing us to gain 10% Empower each time we use an ability, but losing the Empower after we hit with a basic attack. This is one of the key ways we will be boosting our damage, and will always have to play with this perk in mind. With the cooldown of Poison Shot and Rain of Arrows now being the same, and Explosive Shot only a few seconds longer, the aim is to use all three attacks one after another, triggering the Empower from Lich Gloves and outputting massive AoE dot damage. Lich Gloves comes with Enchanted Ward and Elemental Aversion. For the final perk, we've added Mortal Refreshment, which reduces our cooldowns by 8% each time we get a kill. This is a perk I am currently trying out. Given the kill potential of this build, often getting 20 plus kills per OPR, and the importance of having our skills on cooldown, this perk fits great. It's not key to the build however, so a more traditional perk such as a conditioning perk would also work. Onto the rest of our armour. For the helm, we are using Enchanted Ward, Refreshing, and Empowering Explosive Arrow. Empowering Explosive Arrow is a key perk to immediately buff our next attack by 20%, and when combined with Lich Gloves, it will boost it by an extra 10%. For the chest, we are using Enchanted Ward, Refreshing, and Health. For the legs, we are using Enchanted Ward, Refreshing, and Mortal Power. Similar to Mortal Refreshment, this is something I am testing out. Given that Lich Gloves Empower gets removed after we do a basic attack, Mortal Empower provides us with some more Empower for our basic attacks, and given the kill potential and the 20-second duration, it has a high uptime. For our legs, we are using Hasted Vigor, Refreshing, and Slash Conditioning. Overall, this gets us to 4 Refreshing, which is key for this build. For our amulet, we are using Health, Flame Protection, and Empowered. Given that we will be playing at range, we want to focus our resistances on fire and thrust, as that is most likely the types of damage we will be taking. So with a Flame Protection amulet, I would also slot some emerald gems in some of the armour. Empowered is also key on the amulet to boost the duration of our Empower from the bow ultimate and from Lich Gloves. For the ring, we are using Hearty, Nature Damage, and Poisoning. Maximizing our Poison Shot is one of the main goals for this build. Nature Damage and Poisoning boost both its damage and duration. They will also boost the nature damage from our Runeglass. For the earring, we are using Endless Thirst, boosting our health potions, and providing Empowering Toast and Fortifying Toast. For the final perk, we've added Regenerating. For the Heartrune, we are using the Cunning Heartrune of Bile Bomb. This further leans into the theme, providing more AoE dot damage and inflicting disease, slow, and exhaust. Given the number of dots we apply with this build, the Heartrune charges really fast, allowing us to disease clumps of enemies frequently. Onto the attributes. We are running 150 con, with the remainder into dex, which should put your dex somewhere around 470 dependent on gear score. As our aim is to output massive damage via damage over time from the bow, we want as much dex as possible. The Hatchet is very much the secondary weapon here, so we don't worry about putting any points into strength. 150 con provides us with minus 10% crit damage taken, which is great for PvP. Onto the skill trees. For the bow, we are using Poison Shot, Rain of Arrows, and Explosive Shot. These are all designed to provide big AoE dot damage. The key to using this build is not just to spam the skills on cooldown, but wait until all the skills are ready to go so we can use them all at the same time. To start, before we attack, we want to dodge to trigger the Evasive Tactics ultimate on the skill tree. This will also trigger the bonus damage from the OPR in our weapon. We open with Explosive Shot, triggering the 20% damage buff from Empowering Explosive Shot and the 10% empower from Lich Gloves. We then use Rain of Arrows whilst boosted from Explosive Shot, inflicting massive AoE and dot damage. This gives us a further 10% empower from Lich Gloves. We then finish with Poison Shot whilst empowered from Lich Gloves, inflicting even more AoE dot damage. At this point, we are 30% empowered from Lich Gloves, so our next heavy attack will also hit hard. Given the Corrupted perk from Sin, the Rain of Arrows perk on our bow, the Poisoning perk on our ring, and the 150 dex bonus, our dots last for ages, and you will often hear that satisfying kill confirm noise long after your shot. Onto the Hatchet. We are using a full throwing hatchet setup for this build, using Rending Throw, Social Distancing, and Infected Throw. This build is primarily a bow build, so we will be using the bow the majority of the time. However, when enemies get close, we can quickly bring out the hatchet to get distance with Social Distancing and put out some damage. These skills also combo great with Lich Gloves, as we can quickly use the skills one after another, gaining the 10% empower each time. We can also take this a step further, using the hatchet skills to get the 30% empower from Lich Gloves, then switching straight to the bow to continue using skills whilst empowered. That's it for the skill trees, but one thing to note, for this build to work, you rarely need to play in a specific way. You want to be playing up high from range, hitting those AoE skills into clumps of enemies. For Coral Divide, playing high up on the rocks is a great location, or on the original OPR map, trying to get up on the fort walls works great. That's it for the build. If you have any questions, drop a comment below. Thanks for watching.